Uzo here. In this movie, I'm going to do some commentary. I want to talk about Bolt Escape, Bash, and just game balance in general, and the types of players that want balance, and the types of players that are selfish and only want personal enjoyment out of a game. Bolt Escape is ridiculous at the moment. It allows a sorcerer to basically get out of any situation where any other class would lose. So there are people on the forums defending Bolt Escape, and their arguments are absolutely ridiculous. One argument is, well, all you have to do is use your gap closer. Well, okay, 2 Bolt Escape casts and you're out of range of any gap closer. If you have the morph that stuns when you use the Bolt Escape, well, you're stunned when they do the first one. Break that, and then they've already done 1 or 2 more, and they're well out of range of any gap closer, and you actually have to figure out which direction they went as well as there, so you lose a little bit of time there. There's no fucking way that you are going to keep up with a Bolt Escaper using gap closers. That is a ridiculous argument. Another one I've heard is that, well, yeah, you didn't get your 10 alliance points or whatever, you know. It didn't allow him to win the fight. That's right, it didn't allow him to win the fight, but what it did is it prevented him from losing the fight. This ability, the people that defend it, are people who play not to lose. They don't play to win, they play not to lose. It's the same people that defended Thief Invisibility and Mobility in Guild Wars 2, Warrior Mobility in Guild Wars 2. You're the same exact type of people. Now, I understand that it sucks to get destroyed by a Zerg. You know, you're running in there, you get 10 plus people on you, you die. It happens a lot. It happens a lot to me because I don't play to not to lose, I play to win, and I don't build for escapability in those situations. When I get Zerged, I fight until I die. Now, the vast majority of people who play MMOs and PvP are people who play not to lose. Once they realize that there's only one class that allows you to get away from these situations where you would die on any other class, they're going to end up re-rolling Sorcerer, and you are going to have a ton of Sorcerers running around in PvP. Once it reaches a critical mass where almost every single engagement you have is a Sorcerer who is going to run away from any fight they're losing. Of course, they're not going to run away if they're winning the fight. So, you know, okay, yes, it gets you away from a Zerg, but also it gets you away from 1v1s that you're losing. And you're the only class that can do that. Once that critical mass is reached, the game no longer becomes worth playing. Period. You have to pay attention to this, Max. This is a serious issue. Now, you'll see here that I am using Bash. That's true, but the difference between me and the people who defend Bolt Escape is that I've actually posted that Bash is overpowered and needs to be nerfed. And ZeniMax is taking 3 steps to do that. They are going to be reducing the damage, increasing the stamina cost, and reducing the attack speed. Between these 3 changes, I hope that's enough. But it's still the case that Bash does extremely good damage when compared to the standard weapon attacks from 2-hand and dual wield. I think those also need to be increased so there's an actual choice between weapon set. I initially wanted to do a 2-handed or dual wield build, but the damage is just absolutely horrible when you compare it to 1-hand shield and bash damage, which also has far better defense. So again, kudos to ZeniMax for addressing the bash issue. The difference between people who defend Bolt Escape and other people who are saying it needs to be fixed, okay, well, some of the people anyway, is that I realize that the overall health of a game is not just dependent on my enjoyment of the game, but the enjoyment of the game of the people that I am fighting. Developers, you need to start listening to us and stop listening to them. They don't care about the health of your game. All they care about is their personal enjoyment. Look at the ridiculous arguments they come up with. One guy says that Dark Cloak is just as good as an escape as Bolt Escape. Are you freaking kidding me? Have you even played a Nightblade? He posts a PvE video of someone soloing a dungeon by abusing the AI mechanics with stealth as some type of justification that it's just as good as Bolt Escape and PvP. What a ridiculous argument. This person has removed himself from any intelligent conversation. And these are the types of arguments that you get from these people because they will say anything to try to preserve that advantage that they have. so they can run around, get away from any fucking situation that other people die in. If there's a 1v1 and winning, they're winning, well, they stay in it and they beat them, and then they call that person a noob. If there's a 1v1 that they're losing, then they bolt escape away and they call that person a noob because they weren't able to catch up with them. Stop enabling these people, developers. Real PvPers, we hate these people. We despise them. They cause us to leave your game when you don't fix things that enable them. And now this brings me to your testing, the testing that you had going into the game. How was this vampire bat swarm, infinite usage of bat swarm, not tested and discovered? So what happened here? Are the PTS testers just people getting in there to, like, you know, gain information so they have an advantage and they keep it to themselves? Did you not give them the correct tools and abilities to test everything? My understanding is that when they started a new character, they had to start it from scratch. Why didn't you give them templates, allow them infinite respecs, right? Give them max level so they could test these things. This theory crafting, when you released the data, I looked at these things. I saw the bash stacking that you could do with the jewelry and the abilities, and I said, wow, that looks like it could be pretty good. It's something I would definitely test. I looked at the ultimate cost reduction in these things that you could stack, and I said, wow, this looks like something that you could do, and maybe it would be really good. People, when we look at builds and theory crafted, these are the things we look at, things that stack. And these would have been the very first things that would have been attested by any decent tester at all, period. And if the person is the person that wants overall health of the game, then they would have reported it to you, and it would have been fixed before it went to live. So where was the failure here? Was the failure with your testers? Was the failure with you not giving them tools? Was the failure with you not listening to them? Or was it all three? I mean, I'm glad that you've addressed it and you've reacted to it, but it should have never been live in the first place. You have lost a lot of subscribers because of this. People that came over to play this game with me are gone, and they're not coming back. They are not coming back. The damage is done. This could have all been prevented if you had had good, solid testing beforehand. I mean, I'm not saying this as a selfish reason. I'm thinking about the health of your game. Don't you care about the health of your game?
There's a lot of them.
Stealth field down, come on me.
Wow, this is way too many.
Okay.
I'm fucked.
They got siege on us.
We're okay.
No, we're not.
Fine.
Use your dark cloak to get away.
We're okay.
I can't catch you.